All right, it's officially time. Welcome, everyone. I'm Amber Lankford, and I'm going to be running you through today's movement break. For this movement session, we're doing all standing exercises, and all we need is some space to move around. I recommend at least an arm span in all directions. Otherwise, let's get started. Let's get that body up and moving around a little bit. We're going to start first by taking our hands, lacing those fingers together. We're going to bring those hands up and back, placing them behind our head. From here, we're going to pull those elbows in together, rounding that upper back, pulling that chin to our chest. We're doing all this without pulling on that neck. We're just keeping some light pressure. Once you reach that end range of motion, you're going to open, pulling those elbows back, looking up towards the ceiling, going into an extended position. We're going to repeat for 8 repetitions, getting as rounded as we can, looking down to the ground, and then extending, lengthening through that spine, looking to the ceiling. Taking this movement nice and slow, really exaggerating, getting as much movement as we can through that spine and through that neck. If you're saying on my count, that was 4. We're going to do 4 more here. And let's do 2 more. And after that final repetition, go ahead and release those fingers, bringing those hands down to your sides. We're going to widen our stance so our feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width. They are going to be facing forward. From here, we're just going to go into alternating lat stretches. Taking that right arm first, we're reaching up to the ceiling, and then rounding over towards the left, reaching that left hand down our leg, making a C shape with our body. Inhaling at that end range of motion. Exhaling and lifting back to center. Lowering that right arm. We're going to switch sides. Left arm comes up. Reaching over to the right. Right arm reaches down that leg. And exhale, standing tall. We're going to repeat. And we're going to do 6 to each side here today. Really focusing on that side bend. Making a nice C shape with our body. Try and get closer to the ground with each repetition. Let's do 3 more to each side. One more here. Standing tall. We are going to do a similar movement, but now we are going to reach all the way down to the ground, or as close to the ground as we can get. We're going to go into our windmill. So for our windmill, same starting, reaching up with that right arm. Now we're going to twist and reach down our leg, reaching for that ground so both hands are on that left side. From here, we're going to bring both hands over to that right side. Now we're going to lift that left arm up and over the top. So we're making a nice circle with that body, starting by reaching up with the right, twisting and reaching down to the ground, pulling both hands over to the right side. Left arm reaches up and over the top. We're going to do 5 to each side, moving in the same direction first, and then we'll switch sides, repeating in the other direction. Try and get a little bit closer to that ground with each repetition. We're going to do 1 more in this direction, and then we're going to switch sides. All right, so now we're switching directions. Starting by lifting that left arm up, reaching down to that right side. Both hands pull over to the left, and then right arm reaches up and over the top. Let's do 5 in this direction as well. Let's do 1 more here. Good. Staying in this wide stance position, we're going to go into our stationary side lunges. So we're keeping those feet facing forward. Hands can be on your hips, or we can reach out in front of us. You can also hold on to a supporting structure. That can be the back of a chair, desk, or even a wall. From here, we're going to take our legs and we're going to shift our weight over to the right first, bending that right knee, reaching down towards that ankle. We're stretching out that inner thigh on that left side. Standing up tall, we're going to switch sides, bending at the waist, bending and shifting that weight to the left and tall. I'm going to show you that side view, bending over to the right, keeping that back nice and flat. Opposite leg stays straight, so we get that nice inner thigh stretch. We're going to do 8 to each side here. Let's do 1 more, each side here. Standing tall, let's bring those feet in. We're gonna go into some marches. For our marches, we're gonna have our hands up at chest height, and we're gonna try to bring our knees up and tap those hands. You can lower those hands down more towards your belly button. The goal is to get those knees up as high as we can, alternating side to side. If this starts to bother your hip flexors and you feel any discomfort, feel free just to tap that foot in front. Getting those knees as close to your chest as you can. Let's do 2 more to each side here. Next, we're going to do some gate openers. So for this one, we're now going to bring our knee up, but we're going to bring it up and circle it around to the side, and then bring it out to the side and back around to the front. So here's kind of that preview. Bring your right leg up, opening to the side and down, then lifting out to the side and in, back to the front. You're going to do 6 to each side. If we need to, feel free to keep that foot on the ground, bending that knee. You're just going to open and close on my count. Try and get as much range of motion as you can through those hips. Let's do 1 more on this side. And switch, bringing that knee up, out and around, out and in. Just a reminder, same thing on this side. Feel free to keep that foot on the ground and just open and close. Let's do 1 more here in each direction. And then we're going to widen that stance once again. We just work those hip flexors, those hips a lot. So we're going to do some hip circles, kind of get those muscles to relax. Bringing both hips over to the right. We're going to circle them forward, circling to the left, circling back, and repeat. We're going to do 3 circles in each direction. Once you've done 3 circles in one direction, you're going to switch, circling back to the left, forward, and back again. Getting as much range of motion as you can. Really getting those hips to open and loosen up. Once you've done 3, go ahead and stand back up nice and tall. We're going to end real quick with a little bit of a wrist mobility. Lacing those fingers together. We're going to flip so our hands are facing away from our body. Elbows are up at our shoulders. And we're just going to straighten our arms, reaching as far forward as you can. And in. We're just going to do 3 here. Reaching as far out as you can before bringing those hands in. Last one. And relaxing out of that. Releasing those hands. Shake it out. And that is all of the movements I have for you all today. Thank you so much for joining our movement break. My name is Amber. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And see you next time.